What's poppin', dogs? Mr. Allen here working with some trig ratios in this video, and we got an interesting situation on this one. So we're given that cotangent of theta is equal to negative 7 over 4, and we're given that cosine of theta is less than 0. What's that tell me? We got to find all 6 trig function ratios, put all of our answers over here, and we are given an xy coordinate plane so that we can properly draw our triangle, okay? So first off, let's make sense of this cotangent of theta is negative 7 over 4. Well, cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, right? And I'm going to jot down real quick a little SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA. Never hurts to write that down. Never hurts to write it down. And then let's get our reciprocals, okay? Cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. Secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. And cotangent is adjacent over opposite. SOHCAHTOA, CHOSHIKAO, right? Got fun things to say for both of those, right? I got it tattooed, one on each shoulder. That's a lie. All right, moving on. So for cotangent of theta, and I'll do it in green because it's right over here in green, it's adjacent over opposite. So adjacent, opposite, fraction. All right. So my adjacent side is 7 or negative 7. Ooh. Could that negative go either spot? It can. It can go in either the 7 or the 4. So we'll have to pay attention to that. But cosine, okay, cosine is negative, right? Well, where is cosine negative? That's what cosine of theta is less than 0 means. You got to be able to interpret that. We're not just going to say cosine is positive, bro. No. They're either going to say cosine of theta is less than 0 to say that it's negative, or that it's greater than 0 for positive, okay? Well, cosine is negative over in these two quadrants, right? If you remember from one, I don't know what day it was, we usually say all students take calculus, ASTC. That tells me where each one is positive. All of them are positive. Sine and its reciprocal, cosecant, are positive. Tangent and its reciprocal, cotangent, positive. Cosine and its reciprocal, secant, positive. The other ones are negative. Okay, so if cosine is going to be negative, it's going to land in one of these two quadrants. But since cotangent is negative, it's going to have to be up here because over here, it's positive, right? Tangent and cotangent is positive here. So the only place that these two things overlap is in my second quadrant. Let's draw up a triangle for this one with my straight edge. All right, and I don't know exactly. Let's see, my adjacent is going to be longer, so I should make the adjacent side a little longer here, okay? Woo, I like that. Boom. Straight down here. We're always straight down to the x-axis, the positive or negative x-axis. In this case, it's the negative. Always make a right triangle with that x-axis, okay? Never over with the y-axis. We don't do that, right? It makes a little bow tie when you have all the triangles right there. Bow tie. Bow tie. All right. So my adjacent is 7 because I'm looking at it from this angle here, and my opposite is 4. So which of those two is negative? The 7 is going to be negative, okay? The 4 is going to be positive. Be careful if we ever give you a positive here, and then I said this as well, you'd be down in this guy, and both of them would actually be negative, right? Because a negative and negative makes a positive. So watch out for that scenario. That's a tricky one right there. If I gave you positive 7 over 4, because it would be down here, both the 4 and the 7 negative. Put it in the brain. It's going to come up. Trust me, it's going to come up. They throw it at you. All right. Next up, I got to get my hypotenuse here because a couple of these here kind of need the hypotenuse for my ratios. So let's figure that out. How do I figure that out? Unfortunately, this is not a Pythagorean triple here. Okay, 4 and 7, not a Pythagorean triple. So I got to bust it out, right? The greatest theorem of all time, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I'll have 4 squared plus negative 7 squared equals c squared. You don't have to have the negative there because it's going to go away. It's going to be 16 plus 49 equals c squared. 16 plus 49, what is that? 55, 65 equals c squared. 65 divided by 5, I don't think that's going to get me anything. It's what, yeah, 13, so no. All right, so we're just going to have the square root of 65 right here for my hypotenuse. I got all my sides now, ready to rock and roll. Maybe one last thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to label it opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse, right? Doesn't hurt, takes 2 seconds, then you don't screw things up, right? So sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, okay? So that's going to be 4 over the square root of 65. 4 over the square root of 65. However, you can't leave it like that. We can't have radicals in the denominator because some old dude said so. He's like, no, can't have that. It doesn't look nice. They did it for weird things of like doing stuff by hand. So anyways, we just still follow this blindly. It's an awful thing, in my opinion. I don't want to do it, but we're going to make you do it, okay? Sorry. It's not my call. I don't have enough clout in the mathematical community yet to make these kinds of decisions to say, hey, this is okay, right? I like what that is. But this is the proper mathematical answer. And all the mathematicians get all like, I don't want to square root of the denominator. And they want that because that looks so much better than that. No. It looks terrible. But that's the correct answer. All right. Rant over. Until I have to rationalize again on this next problem. But I'll try to hold back. All right. Cosine, guys. Cosine of theta. Adjacent. Hypotenuse. Oh, boy. Here we go. -7 over the square root of 65. As you can imagine, it'll be the same process here. The same wonderful waste of time that we just had with rationalizing the denominator. Maybe one day, guys. Maybe one day. We will say, no more. Rationalizing the denominator is irrational. Ooh, that's a good slogan. I'm going to make shirts. Let me know if you want them. Link in bio. Just kidding. I don't have them yet. All right. Boom. That's the next one. Hopefully that fit on the screen there. I'm getting real close. Yes, looks like you got it. Tiny screen, but I think I can see it. All right, next one. Should have given myself just a little more room. Tangent, opposite, over adjacent. I don't know why I keep setting this down. 4 over -7. I like to put the negative out front in this situation, okay? I don't want to see a negative in the denominator. You tell me, okay? You tell me. Does this look okay? Ugh. I'm going to throw up, dude. That looks terrible. Either put it out front or put it up in the numerator, okay? Have some class, okay? Have some class. Negative in the denominator just looks weird, man. And if you do that and I see it, I'm going to call you out in front of everybody. Oh, this guy puts negatives in the denominator. Ugh. All right, cosecant, moving on. Reciprocal of sine, right? So it's hypotenuse over opposite. I would not flip this guy because then you're going to have to re-rationalize. But we can think about the original, square root of 65 over 4. That's it, we're done. You can also look here, hypotenuse over opposite, square root of 65 over 4. Secant, going to be just as easy. Square root of 65 over -7. So I'm going to throw that negative out front, because that looks classy, right? That looks classy right there with the negative in front. Not in the denominator. It looks weird in the denominator, man. I don't know why I got such beef with the negative in the denominator, but I do, okay? Just who I am, I guess. And the last one here, adjacent over opposite for cotangent. Cho, sha, cow. Last one. A, -7 over the opposite of 4. Yep, boom, done. Circle it, and sort of circle it. Cool. That looks much worse when I circled it, but I did it. Can't go back. That's it. Boom. Done. All right, guys. Hopefully that helps. Again, watch out for the tangent and cotangent scenarios when it's positive but ends up in that third quadrant, because both those sides are going to be negative, and all your signs will be messed up if you don't catch that one. So watch out for the cotangent in the third quadrant. I can't remember if I have a video. If I do, I'll link it. If not, I'll make one, and then you'll have to like it. Okay? Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. See you later.